Hey guys, this is Ed and Jason Lauritsen from Regusci Winery, and we are here at the historic Regusci Ranch in Stag's Leap District. Jason, what do you do for Regusci Winery and Regusci Vineyard Management?
All right, well, I am the Director of Vineyard Operations here for the Vineyard Management Company and the vineyard that we're in. I consider myself just a vineyard manager, and we have 4 or 5 vineyard managers, but we're all a team and I kind of oversee everything that we're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
And as you guys know, right now it's springtime. There's a lot going on in the vineyard. We are cultivating, spraying fungicides, suckering, fertilizing, a lot of fun stuff. This vineyard has been suckered the first pass. We'll probably come through and do a second pass. We are in a Merlot block here. There's only one Merlot block here at Regusci. And what suckering is removing unwanted shoots and making sure that the shoots you want to keep have enough space between them to not create a bunch of clumping. So what we did is we came through and we suckered the bottoms of the vines first in an attempt to get these cane prune shoots to grow stronger, so the vine's energy is going to go to those shoots. And what we will do, we will come back again. They did a very quick pass, and we will sucker around the head of the vine right here, because in cane prune vines, the head of the vine is where a lot of the clumping gets, and sunlight doesn't reach those clusters. You get more mildew rot. So we'll come back through here and we'll sucker around the head of the vine just to make sure it's nice and open in the head. With our cover cropping plans, we do a lot of various cover crops depending on what the vineyard needs in the soil. And this is one of the rows that hasn't been mowed yet. It's a beneficiary row where the flowers and plants planted there are hosts to good bugs that we want in the vineyards, predators that eat bad bugs. And once it's gone to seed, which is pretty soon, we will mow it and turn it back into the soil, and hopefully it'll grow back next year. We'll end up reseeding it next year too.
Yeah.
You might get a shot of all the sheep we have up on the hill, something we started last year or 2 years ago, I can't remember. More for fire prevention. As you guys all know, the fires came right down to the winery, right through this Angela's vineyard right up there, right down to the road that's right below it. And so we have about 300 head of sheep up on the hills, just grazing and keeping the fire fuel down.
So Jason, how long have you worked here for Regusci?
I've worked here now 15 years in April, so it's a long time. I don't know if a lot of people in the industry stick with one spot for that long or for that long for their career, but I could see myself, I'm going to be staying here probably the rest of my working days. I started in 2005 and graduated from Cal Poly in 2004. When I went to Cal Poly, I knew I wanted to come back to Napa, but I didn't know doing what, so I just studied agricultural business, knowing that I'd get in the wine business at some level, and took a viticulture minor because it didn't offer viticulture as a major back then. And yeah, went through school and came back. I didn't have any idea what I wanted to do, or didn't have anything lined up, I guess. I knew I wanted to get into the vineyard side more than the winery side. And my dad, who used to own a company called Bellani Trucking, had a lot of contacts and got me a job with Atlas Peak Vineyards, which is now the Antinori property. Atlas Peak was owned by Allied Domecq back in those days, which owned Mumm, William Hill, Buena Vista, and all that stuff. So I drove home from Cal Poly on a Friday and was going to my new job on the following Monday, and literally have been working ever since. But the funny thing was Tony Fernandez was my boss up there, and he told me be here at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I got up there at 6 o'clock in the morning, not sure what I'm going to be doing, but I think it's a start, you know. So I get up there with my bag lunch, and I meet a crew of guys, and we all get on a big blue ugly bus and drive out in the vineyard, which is a big 500-acre vineyard, to a block. And I started leafing with a bunch of the crews, and did that for about 6 months, like just stay with a crew of guys. And then once the season came along, I got to do some pressure bombing, other fun fun thing. And then my dad, my family's a longtime Napa family, ran into Jimmy at somewhere, and Jimmy asked, "What's Jason doing?" And one thing turned to another, and Jimmy offered me $15 an hour, a truck, and a phone, and that's how it started. I came and started working here, and then kind of just been here ever since. Started off irrigating, injecting fertilizer, and working alongside the guys. And I mean, I'm thankful because I kind of came into a great situation with a lot of good people, with the Perez family, Jacobo, Flaco, Carlos Avalos, all these guys that were here already. And then I just kind of added to the team, and we kind of have grown a lot since then, and we have a really great team now. We have a lot more managers and a lot more properties, and it's been really good.
Yeah.
And of course, as you know, Ed, Jimmy Regusci, he's
Yes.
a wild card, great guy, one of the most generous guys you could ever be around. And yeah, so I'm very lucky, very fortunate to be where I'm at.
What good things are happening out in the vineyard that's going to make this a good vintage?
Good things. I mean, the weather's been great. Aside from the lack of rainfall, once it got warm, it's been staying warm, which means our shoot growth is happen like that, and right around the corner will be bloom time. And if the weather stays like it's been, these little flower clusters here will turn into nice big grapes. And a lot of times what can make shatter, which is when the grapes are flowering and you get a big wind event or a big storm, knocks all the flowers off, and then you'll have a cluster that looks like a fishbone. You know? So with that being said, if the weather stays like it is, it's going to be a good crop, good vintage. But we'll see. You never know. I mean, last year in May we got 6 inches of rain or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, the next big pass we'll be doing through here is probably when we come through and do another cleanup suckering on these vines and all the blocks here. We'll be moving the wires up, especially on cane prune vines like these. If it gets really windy, these shoots about this size can snap right off. So we move. Let's look at this side because the wires are here. We'll be moving these wires up to where they'll be to hold the shoots in place. But that'll be the next big pass, and after that it'll be leafing and getting ready for harvest. That's just the way it goes. All right, so again, here we are at the Regusci Ranch, and I wanted to say thank you, and thank you for the grape growers for doing this. When the whole lockdown is over, please come out to the ranch and see us, and we'd love to show you around and drink some wine with you. So come check it out.